Hi everybody, in this video we're going to learn how to use a switch statement. We use a switch statement to check if the value of a variable of interest is equal to the following values in the switch structure. So let's get started. Switch. Now because on this program we ask the user to enter an operator, for example 1 for plus, 2 for subtraction and so on, and the OP variable is declared as an int. So switch, we want to check the value of that OP variable. And then a block, because we're going to have multiple statements in that switch structure. Starting with the first case, because OP is an int, we want to see if OP is equal to this first value, which is, for example, number 1, and then colon. If it's 1, then we're going to do the calculation and display the result. Now, when you have a non-empty case, for example, in this case, we have two statements, meaning it's not empty. We need to end that case with a break. Let's say we have another case, case 2. Doesn't matter how many statements we have in a case. As long as it's not empty, we need to have a break statement. And then we have optional default for example, to display OP is neither plus nor minus. Again, just like with normal cases, default, which is optional, if it's not empty, then you still need to have a break. Now, if you look at it closely, that case 1 is basically the same as this if statement. Same thing here. And that default basically works just like an else. Okay, let's do another switch. The order of the cases doesn't actually matter, but even though it should be logical. For example, we can start with case 2. And then back to case 1. Let's say this time we want to allow the user to enter either number 1 or the plus symbol. Okay, if that's what we want, as you can see, we have a problem. First of all, the plus is not an integer. If we want the user to allow both a number and a symbol to be entered for that addition operation, first we have to change that OP variable to, for example, string. And let's say we're going to add OP2 as a new variable for this new switch. We're going to change that to OP2. Because OP2 is a string variable, you want to check if if that OP2 is equal to number 2, that number 2 must be within double quotes, because you're checking if a string variable has this following string value. Same thing here, that number 2 must be within double quotes. Along with this, number 1 and this plus symbol. And because we want the user to enter either number 1 or the plus symbol to do the addition, this time we want to make this case number 1 empty, so that when it's 1, then the compiler is gonna fall onto the next one immediately. Meaning, in other words, it doesn't have a break. So if it's 1 or if it's plus, then you're gonna do addition. And that's the end of this video.